Do you believe in dreams? Oh my, I still didn't find out. I still did not find out how I can comment on my own thing. I need to find that out. How can I comment on my own live? So I'm here to talk about dreams, right? So whilst reading the Bible just now, yes guys, whilst reading the Bible just now, my eyes gave up because it's almost 12:30, it's almost 12:20. It's almost 12:20 a.m. here in the UK. So whilst reading, my eyes said no, don't bother with that. So I'm here to talk about dreams. So I was mentioning earlier that whilst my mom and dad were saving to buy a house, my mother, myself, and my brother, we were living with my great grandaunt. Sorry, excuse me, which is my father's aunt. So when we lived in that yard now, right? I was describing what the yard looked like. So if you're going in, on the right of the yard, there was a shop there, which my father's brother, he ran that shop, he maintained that shop, it says. Let his soul rest in peace. To the left there at the front, there are quite a few houses. To the left there at the front was where my mother, my brother, and myself lived. And after a while, I believe an aunt of ours came and lived with us just for a little bit until she moved on. Behind us lived a couple. And this couple, her, she lived with her husband and two boys. Now, every Friday when this gentleman got paid, this gentleman would stop at a rum bar first and he would drink out all of his pay, come home broke and drunk. And then on top of it, at times he would pee in the lady's closet. Imagine enough, he's already coming home broke, and on top of it, he's peeing in her closet from being so drunk from the money that he's not taking home. So at times she would beat him. Now behind, way up top on the hill, where a lot of fruit trees were, there was this gentleman that lived up there. He was as dark as my hair color. Oh, and his eyes were red as blood. So imagine someone's skin this dark, their eyes this red, and then at times you see him coming to you from the dark. I was scared of him. I was terribly scared of him. Terribly scared of him. I didn't think he was human, to be honest. What do I know? I was a child. So anyway, the yard had the Sibyl orange, the sour orange that used to make juice, that cherry tree, sweet sap tree. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Yes, I will fear no evil. God bless you also, Kilama. Thank you. Yes, I'm like, this person isn't human. Anyways, up top where he lived, they had mango trees up there, sweet sap trees, cherry trees, all sorts of fruits up there, all sorts of fruits. Around the yard, it was filled with fruits, right? No, it was mango season. I wanted to eat the mangoes also. He wanted to sell all the mangoes, eat the balance of it, and we shouldn't get any. And you're welcome. And I decided that, look, this is my great grandaunt's house. You cannot sell all the mangoes. I want some of them to eat. So he told me not to climb the tree because he wanted the mangoes to buy, to pick, to sell. And him alone wanted to eat from the tree. Oh, the light died. I can't bother get up to turn on the other set of lights. I hope you can still see me, guys. Yes, so anyway, so him alone wanted it, right? Oh, it didn't die. So there's a little juice in it. Yes, so him alone wanted to eat of the tree. I said, no, I want to eat the mangoes too. You know what this elderly man said to me? They said, you little girl, you're going to fall off that mango tree and you're going to break your and you're going to unalive. I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried. I didn't even tell my mother because we're not close. I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried. I thought it was true and I thought it would have happened. Guys, I kid you not. Less than 2 weeks after, I can't remember exactly when, but in my little mind, it was between a week to 2 weeks. I came home one day and that man was lying on the ground. I saw the red liquid running on the ground. He's lying on the ground. His head is on a pipe, a metal pipe. His head is on a metal pipe. His head twisted. You know what happened? The same way he said he wanted me to fall from the tree, break my and unalive, guys. That's exactly how he went out. So guess what? Because I don't understand what's happening, In my mind, I thought I was the one who did it to him. Because I'm like, but wait, this man said that this was going to happen to me, and it's the exact way he went out. I cried even more. I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried. I was so scared. You see, as soon as it started getting dusty, as soon as the evening would come down, I would be inside. I was scared of this man. I thought this man would come back and harm me in some way. I didn't understand. Up to now, I remember it. And that was the first time in my life that someone has tried to do me something seriously harm. It's the first time in my life that someone has wanted harm to come to me and it was returned to them swiftly. Guys, I have so many stories after that. So many stories after that, I'm telling you. Yes, so many stories. I dated this one person who was abusive and he used me financially, he abused me mentally, he abused me emotionally. And I prayed. It's the only way I could have gotten out of that situation. I honestly prayed, and that is what got me out. I just noticed one day when he was there, I think he showered, or it was me, one of us showered, came from the bathroom. And I remember that morning I felt different. And when I felt that difference, I knew what it was. I don't know how, but I knew what it was. And I said, God, I thank you. I said, this is it. I thank you. Because I left him so many times, and like so many other abused people, men and women, we go back to our abusers. A lot of the times too is because one, we're probably scared that they will unalive us like they promise us to. But one of the other main reasons is that we have no support at all. The only person that we have in our lives is that abuser. So we keep going back to the abuser until we've had enough. Yeah, so I had a loan paying firm that he promised he to ask me to take this loan out. Promised that he would pay the loan monthly. I went against my better judgment and I took the loan out for him because I really love this daughter and I thought I was doing it for his daughter. I so came to find out many years later, actually, when I migrated here, I saw someone that worked with him, and when she told me how much he got for his salary, I couldn't believe it. He would make me make invoices for him, generate invoices for him, stating a certain figure. It was a sham. It wasn't real. He wanted me so much to believe that he wasn't getting a lot. Well, like almost double my salary. But he still wanted me to believe that he wasn't getting the amount he was getting. So he would ask me to generate invoices for him monthly, and I would do it. When she told me how much he was getting for his salary, I nearly dropped down. He was getting 6 times my salary, no less than 5, every month. And he asked me to take out a loan for him that he said he would have repaid. He never paid a dollar. Even when I wanted to leave the relationship, I was still holding on because I was hoping he would have repaid some of the money. He didn't. I said to him, yeah, it's a long story. I would have to do a live and go into the depths of it, but that's not what I'm talking about now. I'm really just talking about people who have tried to harm me in my life and some of the things that I see happen to them in return. And I remember I said to him, I said, "This is because of what you put me through, you are going to lose every single thing you own." Guys, guess what? I lived to see that man. He drove to my house and he said, "What did you do to me? What did you do to me? You're an Obeah woman." I'm like, "What?" He said he lost every single thing. Don't he lost even the bed that he was sleeping on. I've never worked magic in my life, never. Even sometimes people tell me to do some things because I'm going through difficult times. Use blue to do this, use salt to do this, burn this candle. I've never ever tried any of it and I will never try any of it. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in darkness. That's what I consider all of them to be. And I'm not going to put myself into certain realms no matter whatever it is that I'm going through. There is a God and he will take me out of it whenever he's ready. Yeah, whilst I also do my part to try and come out of it. And he lost every single thing he owned down to the bed that he slept on. So he thought I did him something. I said, "Listen, there's no way someone can be so kind to you. And you think you're going to treat them the way you've treated them, and you think you're going to get away with it. You will never get away with it. Never. You will never get away with it." There was this other dream. I can't remember now, right? I was talking to this man. I was in a relationship with this man. And one night he wanted me to go to the club with him. But the night prior to this, I dreamt that we went to a club, and as soon as we were about to depart the parking lot, excuse me, a slender girl who looked like me at the time, I was slim built, she had a handkerchief tied around her head, a blue one. She had on a crop top, and there was a fat girl beside her, and they blocked the gateway, right? Because they're preventing him from driving out. They blocked the gateway, and as soon he's trying to drive out, so he wants them to move, and she swung back and she flung a bottle into the windshield of the car, a glass bottle. I dreamt that, and so I said to him, "I'm not going because I had this dream." He said, "What kind of dream?" I said, "No, you're going to say I'm crazy." He said, "Just tell me the dream, man." I told him. He said, "You're always having these mad dreams." Guys, we reached the club the night after he begged me so many times. I finally gave in and I went. As soon as we reached the club, he stepped out of the car. I am stepping out of the car. I haven't been fully out. I heard him say, "Go back in, go back in." I didn't question it. He's a businessman. I knew he had a licensed firearm on him. I trusted that if he said something is terribly wrong, something is terribly wrong. I'm not going to ask what. So I swiftly went back in. He's driving out. Sometimes I laugh about some serious things. We're driving out, guys, and guess what? I see a slim built girl like me step right in front of the driveway, and her fat friend stepped right beside her, and they used their bodies as shield to block the driveway so that we couldn't drive out. Guess what? She swung back. And what happened? When I saw that happen, I believe I said, I think I said, Jesus. And I quickly and swiftly reclined my seat as far back as it could go because I knew what was coming next. He was looking at me in shock because I told him this dream the night prior. It's gone again. So he was looking at me shocked. So he didn't even have time to react. So he's still sitting up looking at me in shock because I told him I had this dream last night. And he said I'm a mad woman. I know that I see it happening. I recline my seat because I know what's coming next. And the only difference is that, sure, it's gone. I hope you guys can see me. The only difference is that she flung, I believe, a Heineken bottle, which is still a beer. I believe she flung a Heineken bottle into the windshield over his side instead of a beer bottle, a red stripe beer bottle that I saw in my dream. So there were splinters caught in his eye, in his face, and everything. I was quite okay. He never questioned anything I said to him after that. He never second guessed me. But seriously, though, I really had some experiences in life, and I really wonder, like, how did that happen? Like, how did I see it before? Like, how did I see that happening before? And there are like many other instances. Yeah, there are many other instances of things happening. Love you. Love you. But if I just listen, because there's usually a guide for me, guys. There's usually a guide for me. No, you don't look comfortable. Hug mommy. Yeah, there's usually a guide for me, guys. But if I just listen, the exact way I dreamt, hug mommy. I love it when you hug mommy. Yeah, the exact way I dreamt it, guys. That is what happened. The exact way I dreamt it. And that guy also, he could have got me damaged more than once because he confessed that this young slim girl was his child's mother and they were still in a relationship. On top of that, he was married. He didn't tell me. And one day, one evening, I was walking by with my sister and his wife saw me. It's a good thing she's not unintelligent. She sped off, she went to the house and she attacked him because obviously someone informed her of me. You see, and this is how people get unalived all the time. I was unaware. I would go there all the time, unannounced. I would be around his sons and stuff like that, not knowing that this man was fully married and his wife was living abroad. Yeah, on top of that, he has a baby. Oh my God, life. Sometimes the choices that we make, I'm telling you. There was this other dream. At one point, I was thinking to go and visit one of my aunts that lives on an island in Nantucket in Massachusetts. I decided to go because at the time I had resigned from work. I needed to just take a break. And as a Jamaican, we like little hustling and things. So I said, okay, let me go. Even though I didn't have to, but I said, let me go. My aunt said, yes, I can come. Before I went there, I don't know where this place is. I don't know anything about it. I didn't research it. But I had a dream that I was going somewhere on a boat. And I was going, and as I was going to this place on a boat to an island, there was this huge snake that was in the water. Now, who was on the boat with me? My aunt's daughter. The same aunt that I should go and visit, she was on this boat with me. It was a little dark, but I could see the thing in the water. And I said to her, I called her name, and I said, wait, pause. You don't see that? And she said, see what? I said, there's something in the water. There's something in the water. And I took her hand and I pushed her back. I pulled her, both of us, we stepped back. Because I'm telling her there's something in the water. And this huge snake, guys, this huge snake, rose upon us out of the water. And he was coming to attack. He was extremely angry. He was extremely angry. He was so close to my face, but he could not touch me. I don't know where I found that stick from. It was like a mop stick or a broomstick. And I took that stick and I beat that snake. I beat him in his head. I beat him in his head. You may not believe me, but when I woke up, I felt it in my hand. I could feel the pain in my hand of me beating this thing. Now I freaked out when I spoke to my aunt about coming over, and at this point now we're speaking about flights and so on to come over. When my aunt told me that, oh, by the way, to actually reach the island, I will have to take a boat. I can take a fast boat, a slow boat, or an airplane. I quickly said to her, not the boat. I dreamt about the boat. I dreamt about the boat that I was going over there with your daughter. I didn't know this, guys. And yet I dreamt I was going to this island on a boat with her daughter. I didn't know that you needed to take that. You could take a boat to get to her. I didn't know that. So it kind of freaked me out. Anyway, I went. Whilst in the house, I had this dream again that I was in the shower and a snake came to bite me in my face. I grabbed the snake, I turned to grab the snake, and he bit me in my hand. As soon as I woke, this was a dream, as soon as I woke, my mind said I should put my hand in the Bible. I don't know why, because really and truly, it's the first time in my life I'm really actually reading the Bible. I'm doing a series where every day I try to read a few chapters of the Bible. I may skip a few days, but I try to read a few chapters of the Bible because I'd like to learn the Bible for myself. And I flung my hand in the Bible. Anyway, I was staying with my cousin at the time in her room. I saw her twitching in her sleep, twitching in her sleep. But I thought it was just a regular dream she was having. I think was it the night before that? Am I mixing up the 2 days? The night before that, I went out in her living room and I felt a presence. The presence that I felt, it wasn't something kind. And I said to it, listen, you and I, we aren't staying in here together. We're not staying in here together. And I left the living room and I went in the room. Yes, that's what happened. Then I had that dream. I woke, she was struggling. When she woke, she literally said to me that something held her down in her dream. And somebody upstairs said that something also held them down in their dream and that they couldn't speak. It's weird, guys. I don't know. I have some very strange happenings. I have some really, really, really very strange happenings, I'm telling you. Very strange. Even me now just having Levi. Maybe it's just a coincidence. But I used to have some very strange snake dreams apart from that. Snake playing with my leg, me in a room full of snakes, black snakes, dark room, but they just can't touch me. Whenever there is something negative, I usually dream of snakes. Yeah, and like so years ago, I had this dream, and I kept having more and more serious dreams. The dreams got worse, the dreams got worse. So the receptionist came to me and she said, don't you notice that when you tell your co-workers your dreams and that you conquer whatever it is that's in your dreams, don't you notice that your dreams get worse? But to me, sure, that meant nothing to me. So I would tell them my dreams anyway. Even though my dreams did get worse, I would tell them my dreams anyway. I didn't care. One of the night, I dreamt that I went to my bed, I was sleeping on my back, and that a crab crawled up onto me and rested on my abdomen. In the dream, I flashed the crab off me, right? I flashed him off me and he broke into pieces into the wall. When I woke in the morning, I heard my mother. She was sweeping right at my window, and she called me out to come and look at a pretty crab. When I went outside, the crab was as pretty as a crab I saw in my dream, broken up into pieces. Just weird things, guys. Weird things. So anyway, the receptionist heard me telling that dream, and she said something is wrong. I need to speak to someone. I wasn't interested. Anyway, she still called someone. I really dislike those dirt bikes. Anyway, guys, she still called someone and she forwarded the call to me. I insisted I didn't want to speak to anyone. She said, listen, sometimes you should listen, you know. Sometimes you should listen. I'm okay. I'm okay. I knew that you would finally come in. You, joking a big eye. Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you. Yeah, and so anyway, I went on a call and the lady said to me that, oh, someone had befriended you. They've been giving you stuff to drink and they've touched your womb. So it's going to be extremely difficult for you to ever get pregnant. If you do get pregnant, it's going to be extremely difficult. And then she said, and when you do get pregnant, someone close to you is going to try and your child. I love this woman to scorn. I love this woman to scorn. I'm like, but this woman is crazy. Hello there, Lynn. I'm like, this woman is crazy. Guess what? It took me 12 years to get Levi. I really couldn't get pregnant. The doctor said that my ovaries weren't working. They stopped working. From when? When the doctor said? 2019. That my ovaries stopped working. They say I'm going to have to do IVF to get pregnant. I'm going to have to take all this medication to get pregnant. All sort of things. Then he gave me 1 year to have baby. But God gave me the baby, you know, guys. Because even before I knew I was pregnant, I got up one morning and I got the urge. And I went online and I shopped for baby's clothing. Yup. Even when I was on Nantucket Island, the first time I went there was 2015. And I bought baby's clothing. And guess what? I migrated here to the UK and there were a few of them that I still took here. And I told myself that I'm going to have a son because I dreamt it. 2018, I dreamt a Bible verse and it spoke about Levi and his brothers, right? I said, okay, God, I'm taking it that you're telling me that I'm going to have a child and my first child is going to be a boy and I should name him Levi. Hence, my son has the name Levi. It was my dream that I thought God gave me. Yeah. And when I put on a few of the clothing that I bought for him from 2015, guys, I cried. I cried because it's like I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. There are just so many dreams and so many details. Just there's so many things. A lot of it is just dark, so I don't really want to get into it, you know. I'm just saying I've had a lot of dreams, a lot of dreams, a lot of warnings. Last snake dream I had, I dreamt that I dreamt that I was going to my mother's house. I was in her yard where you should usually have the lawn and the low pipe, outside pipe that should usually use to water the lawn when there was one. It was flooded though, right? And I was running to go around to the back where my room was. But when I saw something, I'm like, what is that? And when I looked, it was a huge dark brown snake going along with me with my feet. He didn't want me to see him doing it. He was hiding. A huge dark brown snake. And there was another huge dark brown snake wrapped around the pipe outside. It was thick. When I say thick, the snake was thick and long. And when I saw it when I was going to go to the back of my mother's house to go in the room that I used to have there, I said, no, I'm not going in her house. Because whenever I have snake dreams, you may think to you it's odd, But anytime I have straight dreams with people in it, it's usually telling me to beware. Just beware of that. Beware of that person, no matter who it is. I usually have snake dreams to tell me to be aware. And it's usually the closest people to me. Yeah, and I ran out of the yard. I ran out of the yard and I reached the corner. When I reached to a corner, the snake stood from where it was and it lunged at me and it was trying to bite my face. I'm like, why is it snakes keep trying to bite my face? What the heck is it? And he tried to bite my face and he couldn't bite me and he was angry and I just stood there with his mouth. The snake is so big, guys, that his face, that his mouth would cover my face. He was so huge. And I just stood there, just looking at him, and he couldn't touch me. And this is the problem with the snakes in my dreams all the time. These snakes are always angry because they've never gotten a chance to touch me, except one time when I was at my aunt's house and I dreamt about the snake and it bit me in my left hand. And I woke and I threw my hand in the Bible and I prayed. Yeah, but there are always these snakes, you know? Always these snakes. Mm-hmm. Just a lot of them. A lot of dreams. A lot of things that happened to me also. There was one point where I was literally flung from my bed. And this is when the receptionist was saying to me, it was during this period, and the receptionist was saying to me, don't you realize that your dreams are getting stronger and worse? Stronger and worse each time you tell these co-workers your dreams. Yeah, and that night I was flung from the bed. Mm-hmm. It sounds crazy, but it did happen. I was literally flung from the bed, guys. Yeah, and I got hit. I got hit around the temple of my ears. I know that can unalive you. Mm-hmm. That's crazy happenings. Crazy happenings. And guess what? In fact, there was a girl at work who had befriended me, and she had started giving me fruit smoothies to drink. It is a fact. There was a girl who had befriended me. I stopped drinking it because I realized whenever I drank it, I would feel very strange. I stopped drinking it. I told her not to take any more. She was offended that I told her not to take any more. She started giving me excuses and pointing out specific ingredients that may have been causing me to feel unwell. I said, don't take any more. When I told the guy I was talking to about it, he said, listen, still take it from her since she's insisting to take it. Take it from her, but don't drink it. Just throw it away. Don't even take it home. Throw it away. And you could tell she was angry. Whatever it is that she wanted to happen wasn't happening. Yeah, she was angry. One day she said to me that she had a dream that I was saying that her mouth was stink. I've never smelled this girl. She drinks water, water, water. She drinks like 6 gallons of water daily. Well, not really six, but you know what I mean. So much water. Water, water. She drinks so much water. I never smelled this girl yet. But remember, I know she said she had that dream where I was telling people that her mouth stink. I didn't see how that would be possible because, as I said, I never smelled this lady yet. It's just water she drinks, vegetables, she wasn't eating meat and those things, right? And those are the things that would cause our mouth to smell and so on, except for like garlic, onion, stuff like that, that I know of. Or a bad tooth or something, I don't know. One day I went to work and the place had a really strange smell. A very strange smell. But I was sitting there and my spirit felt cross. And I'm like, no, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And I'm like, girls, do you smell that? They said, no. I said, you don't smell that? It was such a strong scent. It was such a strong scent. And it was making my spirit very cross, guys. I started getting really angry. And I found myself saying to the same girl, who dreamed that she saw me telling people that her mouth stink. And I found myself just shouting at her and saying to her, I smell you, I smell you, you stink, you stink, I smell it. I kept saying that over and over to her, and I was saying to her, I'm not scared of you, you're a demon, you're a demon, I can smell you, I'm not scared of you. And I kept shouting, I can't even do it now. It's like I was in a daze or something. And I just found myself, I kept shouting that over and over, that I smell her, and that she was stink, and that she was a demon, and that her sister was a demon. That is what happened. Nobody else could smell this scent except me, and it was extremely strong and it was overpowering. I learned afterwards, they said that her mother deals in those darkness. Yeah, I learned that afterwards, that her mother deals in darkness. hmm Even one day she said to me, Dion, how come I am browner than you? I think she's more fair skinned than me, than I am. And she said, how come I am browner than you and yet your lip more pink than mine, redder than mine? Guys, she brought me a lip gloss after that. And when I used the lip gloss, my lip got darker. You may think I'm making up this story, guys, but I'm not. I have no reason to. Yeah, she brought me a lip gloss after that. And when I used it, my lips got darker. hmm My hair was getting really long, like long, because I started taking care of my hair. And my hair would be long down to my back here. She brought something for me to use in my hair. What do you think happened? Hair start falling off. But I wasn't piecing these things to say that something was happening. I just thought it was happening naturally. It's years later I thought about it because I was so naive. Another girl, she brought a body spray. Same place of work. Same place of work. And when I used the body spray, do you know? Alright, let me tell you how my arm looked right here. It looked like, a beehive. No, not the hive. The honeycomb. With those holes in it, just that the holes were much finer. Created holes in my skin. It was round and it had holes in it like a honeycomb, but just that the holes were much smaller. And there were bumps, and it's like it was awful. And the person that I was with said to me, use lime. Cut lime, rub it on it. He was extremely angry at me, and to be honest, he was the same abusive person. Yes, he was angry, that somebody else was abusing me. Hmm? That man would unalive somebody for me, No, he's never done it. I'm just saying the way he behaves with other people that tries to harm me, and yet he was doing it himself. Yeah, I didn't go to the doctor or anything. I threw it away. I didn't tell her that I did, as he advised me not to tell them. And I used lime. Every morning when I showered, going to work, every evening when I came home and I showered, I used the lime. And the lime is what got rid of it. I've had many experiences with people. Many, many experiences with people. Because I was naive, not just trusting. I was naive. I felt at the time that if I was good to people, that people would also be good to me. The world doesn't work like that. I read this book, A Raised in the Sun, and it spoke about the tookers and the tooken. There are some people that will take from you until you have nothing left. And even when you have nothing left, they will still take your nothing. They will still take your nothing. hmm Yeah, and I think I accepted that about me a bit too late. I remember at one point I started complaining about my kindness because there are lots of people who misuse me, who take a disadvantage of me, due to my kindness. And I remember my ex-husband, his aunt had said to me, because I was complaining about it honestly, and she had said to me, Dion, Do not complain about the gift that God has given to you. He has given you a gift of kindness. And I said to her, yeah, but at some point, it's no longer a gift, it becomes a curse. At some point, it's no longer a gift, it becomes a curse. I am going to teach my son to put himself first. Put himself first even before his children. Meaning, he has to ensure that he is okay first so that he can ensure that his children are okay, his wife is okay. But he has to put himself first and never leave himself empty for anyone. So you have to always make sure that you have it so you can take care of your family. But always put yourself first. I have done things for people that I haven't even done for myself. Yeah, I've done things for people that I haven't even done for myself, and I am not going to name them, but it's just alarming, and I'm 41 years old. So for anyone that's on live and you're listening, please, I'm begging you, try to put yourself first. You cannot pour from an empty bucket. And even if now you think your bucket is full, if you keep giving out of that bucket and you do not refill that bucket as you're giving away, one day that bucket will be empty. And when that bucket is empty, there is no one that you can look to but God. Alright? So take heed. Yeah, take heed. There are many, many stories, many dreams, but I'm tired. So if you hear me kind of lagging when I'm talking, if you notice if my voice crackling now, it's 1 a.m. Yes, 1 a.m. and yeah, I have an important morning. So hopefully I will be able to sleep. Thank you for keeping my company, guys. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. I wish for you tonight, as you go to bed, which is later for you guys, most of you, I wish you inner peace. I wish you self-love. I wish you joy, abundance, peace. Yes, I wish you all of those things. I'm going to love you and leave you now. My name is Dion. Of course, my platform is Dove London. And until next time, guys. And until next time, guys, the journey continues. Bye, guys. Thank you. You too. Have a good night. Have a good night, Rena. As I said, I don't like calling her that name because I know that's not your name. Oh, good, guys.